The medieval gaming scene has never been stronger. From epic castle sieges and kingdom management to survival crafting and real-time strategy, the genre has evolved far beyond just swords and sorcery. The games we're going to be talking about capture the heart of the Middle Ages, whether you're into managing a peaceful village, commanding armies, or getting immersed in a medieval world, we have it all. Here are 13 amazing medieval games still worth playing today. Mount and Blade II Bannerlord is a massive medieval sandbox that blends large-scale strategy with directional combat in the first or third person. In Bannerlord, you can create and develop a character that matches your playstyle as you explore, raid, and conquer your way across a vast medieval sandbox where no two playthroughs are the same. You'll raise armies, engage in politics, trade, craft weapons, recruit companions, and manage your fiefdom as you attempt to establish your clan among the nobility of Calradia. The game's deep directional combat system makes duels feel personal, while its world simulation keeps trade, warfare, and diplomacy constantly evolving. And with the mod support, multiplayer battles, and endless replayability, Bannerlord stands as one of the most ambitious and immersive medieval experiences ever made. And it's still getting updated too with the most recent Wartales update. So if you crave the chaos of battle, the rise of your own dynasty, and the satisfaction of conquering a world that bends to your choices, then Bannerlord is exactly where you belong. Crusader Kings 3 is a grand strategy RPG where you don't just control a kingdom or a person, you're controlling a lineage. Set across the medieval world, it lets you rule, scheme, and survive through generations of politics, war, and scandal. Every character in your realm has goals, secrets, and personalities that shape the story. From loyal knights to plotting couriers. You have the ability to wage wars, arrange marriages, forge alliances, or even stab your rivals in the back. Whatever keeps the bloodline alive. And with the deep role-playing systems, religion and cultural mechanics, and emergent storytelling that borders on the absurd, honestly, CK3 captures the chaos and complexity of medieval power like no other game. I slept on this game for the longest time because I don't really play grand strategy games, but the encounters, events, and characters make for some pretty interesting stories. Also, once you get into the game and you want to spice things up, the mods for this game are really amazing that give you the ability to completely change the game map. Instead of the usual CK3 map that spans from Europe to Asia, you can play in the Game of Thrones world, the Elder Scrolls world, Middle-earth, Azeroth, or my favorite, the After the End mod, which changes the map to North and South America. This game can be a major time sink, so if you haven't played grand strategy games before, I would say give this one a shot. You might find you really enjoy it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 drops you in the fraught 15th century Kingdom of Bohemia, immediately following the events of the first game. You again step into the boots of Henry, the blacksmith's son turned reluctant warrior, but this time in an open world twice the size of its predecessor. As war, politics, and betrayal tears the realm apart, with King Wenceslas IV and his sibling rival Sigismund at the center, you'll engage in brutal first-person combat, exploring sprawling, historically inspired locales like Kuttenberg and Bohemia, where the choices you make in the game ripple across factions and lives. The game is full of realistic mechanics, high stakes, and emergent narrative moments. And you don't need to play the first game if you don't want to, but the first game is still really good, and I think the story will be more fulfilling if you play the first game. Age of Empires 4 continues the legendary RTS legacy, putting players at the heart of history's most iconic battles. Command one of 10 civilizations, from the English and Chinese to the Malians and the Ottomans, as you build cities, manage resources, and lead vast armies across land and sea. With 4 full campaigns spanning 500 years of history, the game blends classic base building and tactical combat with modern innovations and stunning 4K visuals. Age of Empires 4 has an inviting experience for new players, with the tutorial system that teaches the essence of real-time strategy, as well as a campaign story mode designed for first-time players to help achieve easy setup and success. And if you're feeling brave enough, jump online to compete, cooperate, or spectate with up to 7 of your friends in PvP and PvE multiplayer modes. If you're like me and grew up on some of the older RTS games like Age of Empires 2, StarCraft, and Warcraft 3, it might be time to revisit one of the genres that made gaming what it is today. Farthest Frontier challenged you to build a thriving medieval town on the edge of civilization, turning a handful of settlers into a bustling community through careful management and planning. In this game, you'll gather resources, hunt, fish, and farm to survive, while crafting goods to support trade, defense, and the daily life. The game features one of the more detailed farming systems ever seen, where soil fertility, crop rotation, and disease management all play a role in survival. As your settlement grows, you'll upgrade hundreds of buildings, manage production chains, and defend against raiders or the harsh winters. With its deep simulation, randomized maps, and focus on realism, Farthest Frontier captures both the beauty and brutality of medieval life, offering a true test of leadership at the edge of the known world. Now, Dark and Darker is a hardcore first-person fantasy dungeon crawler that captures the danger and mystery of classic RPGs. Set within the ruins of an ancient citadel, players band together in three-person parties to fight monsters, avoid traps, and outwit rival adventurers, all while racing to escape before the darkness consumes everything. Each class, from the brawny barbarian, the cunning rogue, or even the spell-slinging wizard, brings unique playstyles and roles to the team. Combat in this game is pretty slow, brutal, and skill-based, rewarding awareness and precision just as much as the gear. Each new run in this game is a gamble. You can go deeper for greater treasure, or find an exit and live to sell another day. Dark and Darker thrives on tension, high risk, and high reward, and there's no guarantees you'll make it back out alive. Like I mentioned earlier, this game is pretty hardcore and not for the faint of heart, but it can be really enjoyable, even more so if you have friends that you can queue up with. Pax Dei is a vast, social sandbox MMO that reimagines the medieval world through myth and magic. Set in a sprawling open world shared by thousands of players, it invites you to carve out your own role, whether that's craftsman, builder, trader, or adventurer. In the peaceful heartlands, you can claim land, construct homes, and grow your clan under the Divine's protection. Every item from armor to bread is crafted by players, fueling a living economy that ties communities together. But beyond the safety of your village lies wildlands filled with ghosts, secrets, and danger, where skill and courage will shape your story. And Pax Dei also recently came out with this 1.0 update, so if you've been waiting for this one for a while, now is a great time to visit this title. Manor Lords is a medieval strategy game that puts you in the role of a rising lord, guiding a humble village into a thriving city. Every structure, farm, and marketplace connects you to a living economy shaped by resource flow, trade routes, and the seasons. Inspired by 14th century Franconia, the game trades fantasy for realism, capturing the look and feel of medieval life with meticulous historical detail. You'll balance the needs of your peasants, plan efficient production chains, and raise armies to expand your domain through tactical, formation-based battles. Manor Lords blend city-building depth with large-scale strategy, letting you feel both the weight of rulership and the satisfaction of seeing your people prosper under your banner. I also really like that you have the ability to walk around your village at the ground view. I hope more is added to this because the ground view management game genre is growing more as of lately, but still, if you enjoy isometric management games, definitely consider checking this one out. Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition brings the legendary Castle Siege RTS back to life with upgraded visuals, new campaigns, and expanded features. Set during the Crusades, it blends fast-paced real-time strategy with deep castle building and resource management. You'll command armies across the deserts of the Holy Land, fortifying your strongholds, defending waves of enemies, and laying siege to rival lords. This edition also adds new units, AI opponents, and historical scenarios, alongside co-op modes, larger maps, and modern quality of life upgrades. Reforged by the original developers with restored art, music, and voice acting, Crusader Definitive Edition preserves the charm and challenge of the classic, while giving veterans and newcomers alike a polished reason to return to the sands of war. And of course, if you prefer the original, you can always play Stronghold Definitive Edition, both of which also have new content added to the game in forms of DLCs. So if you've played the old Stronghold games, it's absolutely worth checking out the Definitive Editions. Chivalry 2 is an arcade slasher that drops you straight into the chaos of medieval warfare. Inspired by epic movie battles, it delivers massive 64-player sieges, where swords clash, arrows will rain, and catapults tear the battlefield apart. You have the ability to storm castles, raid villages, engage in peasant battles, and even trample foes from horseback. With 4 core classes and over 10 subclasses to master, every weapon from great swords to longbows offer unique playstyles and brutal finishers. Now, whether you're fighting on the front lines or leading a cavalry charge, Chivalry 2 is a blast that captures that sheer carnage of medieval combat better than most of the games in the field. I will admit Chivalry can be a bit of a learning curve for those that haven't played sword games like this or Mordhau, but once you get into it, it's such a fun and exciting game that I still enjoy playing it, and I think you may enjoy it too. Bellwright is a story-driven medieval survival and settlement building game that puts you in the role of a fugitive turned revolutionary. Framed for the murder of a prince and left for dead, you return to the land you once fled to uncover the truth and rally the people against the tyrannical crown. As you build and expand your settlements, you recruit villagers, craft weapons, and lead rebel forces in tactical battles for freedom. Every liberated village will strengthen your cause, every follower adds to your army, and every bell that you ring brings you closer to justice. And this game is the only game on the list that is currently in early access, so you may have to temper your expectations, but I've put hundreds of hours in this game already with multiple playthroughs, and I definitely think it's worth playing if you haven't. Wartales is a tactical RPG that drops you into a war-torn medieval world where honor is a luxury few can afford. A century after the fall of the Edorid Empire, you lead a band of mercenaries carving out their own path through a land plagued by famine, greed, and decay. The goal in this world is not to save it, but to survive in it. Recruit companions with unique skills and personalities, manage their morale and resources, and build a camp that keeps your crew alive between contracts. The game's turn-based tactical combat rewards precision and planning, while its open world invites exploration of ruined villages, tombs, and lawless frontiers. But you still have to be careful. One wrong move can lead to a swift end of a beloved companion. If you played turn-based RPGs like Battle Brothers, Fire Emblem, or even like Darkest Dungeon, I think Wartales is worth checking out. And last but not least, we have Medieval Dynasty. Medieval Dynasty drops you into Central Europe during the early medieval era, where survival, crafting, and legacy all tie together here. In this world, you start with nothing and work your way up from a lowly peasant to a village leader. Throughout your character's lifespan, you'll be hunting, farming, building, and managing your people as you turn a small settlement into a thriving dynasty that can last generations. Each of the villagers that you recruit will have needs, skills, and relationships that will affect your town's success, while the changing of seasons and harsh winters will constantly test your management and survival skills. In this game, you can play solo or co-op and explore the world and live out your medieval story as a farmer, a trader, a hunter, or a founder of a prosperous family line. And once your heir reaches adulthood, you can retire and pass your village on to your heir, allowing you to play as the next generation and continue on the dynasty. On this channel, I make a lot of videos on Medieval Dynasty, so if you'd like to see some games similar to Medieval Dynasty, check out the video on the screen here. Don't forget to pay that king's tax of 1 like or 1 sub on your way out. And until next time, thanks for watching, and take care.